Today let us find out that if DEXA cannot be done on every patient, then can ultrasound BMD substitute it? So we'll have to validate the ultrasound BMD against the DEXA. Ideally, for each reading on a patient, supposing the reading is 10 on the ultrasound BMD, it should be 10 on the DEXA. So ideally there should be a 45-degree line on the X, on the Y and the X axis, and each attempt, each measurement should be actually on this line. But this is not the case. Usually when you plot DEXA and ultrasound readings on the same patient, the same bone, you get a scatter plot like this, where the ultrasound reading of 20 may correspond with 10 of the DEXA reading. Therefore, you deal with the scatter plot in this manner. You draw a line which will be nearest to all the scatter points. This line is called as the trend line. It's also called as the least square line. It is the least square line because each of the residual, each of the scatter has a distance from this line which is called as the residual, what could not be explained by the trend line. And this residual can be plus or it can be minus. To take off the plus minus sign, you square the residual and you sum them up, and this sum tells you how much the trend line cannot explain the gold standard. You can convert this into a formula by which the DEXA readings can be predicted by the ultrasound readings. For example, if you want to predict this reading, the 3 reading, you will have to add some value which is beta 0, which is this much, plus the incremental increase as you go from 1 to 2. As you go from 1 to 2, the trend line increases. This is called as beta 1, each increase, and you have to multiply it by the number of increases into x1. For example, x1 is the point. So the x value will be equal to beta 0 plus beta 1 x1. If this is not the gold standard and this is not the surrogate, then this same thing is the correlation coefficient. This trend line can be converted into p-value. P-value means the number of points which were not on the trend line as compared to the total number of points. So that is a p-value which you can get in validation. These validation studies can only be done if the values by the surrogate ultrasound and the gold standard DEXA are numeric, continuous numeric values. So this is it.